Okay, I'm sure you guys can hear the noise in the background. Noise in the background is, this is an off-grid shop, meaning I am running this I don't have 220 out here, I only have 110 for my battery bank right now and my solar. So I'm having to run a generator, run this 220 single phase lathe, and my air compressor, which is running right now, and a couple of other things. But it is actually just on the outside of this wall, just out there around the corner, not very far, and that's why it's really, really loud. I'm going to be working on baffling all that down and getting a larger battery bank to be running the 220 and a different inverter. So I'll be running everything much more quieter inside the shop. That being said, a lot of this noise that you're going to be hearing is from the generator, not from the lathe. The lathe actually is relatively quiet. Okay, back to the subject at hand. Here's the piece that's actually set in, and the way how I have it set, the back sight is floating. And what I'm going to be doing here, this is going to be, put this in neutral. What I'm going to be doing here is, you see the intermittent cut I'm going to be dealing with. It's pretty heavy. I mean, it's quite a bit that goes in there. I mean, so I'll have to figure out my speeds and feeds on that. Hopefully I don't go through too many inserts, but thinking I can handle it. Not that big of a deal. Got it chucked down, you know, on all three pieces. Not too aggressive, you got to remember, because see, I'm actually only going to be coming out here. I want 6.5 inch. I want 4.5 ID, 6.5 OD. So it's just going to be a band, and if you're pressing out on this too hard, you're going to be, you know, making this out of round. So you want this concentric ID with the OD concentricity and running true round. So you want just enough pressure to hold it, but not too much pressure. So what I'll be doing with this is I'm going to be coming in here about 90% of the distance, maybe 95, just before I kiss the actual hard jaws, and I'm going to be leaving this sliver on there. So once I get this down about 50 thou away from the OD dimension, I will go ahead and face this surface and then finish out the OD surface, or the actual diameter to the diameter dimension I want, which is 6.5. So that way I got two right angles. Then I'm going to flip this around once I set my 0 for the diameter up here on my DRO, and then flip it around and just come in on 0, boom, and then cut that sliver off and then face it off, and I'm good to go. I got a nice concentric piece on the OD and two square sides. So I'll have a right angle here with this side running parallel, and on the edge of the outer diameter. And then all I have to do is work up my inner diameter, and that'll all go back into the soft jaws. Okay. Here we go. I'll make some cuts and I'll show you as we're going along. Again, Char's tooling. This is just an import tool holder. I'm going to take this guy and set it up here out of the way. And this all Char's tooling and all their inserts. Highly impressive. I'll turn this off so you can hear it. Cycle it back on. Relatively quiet. I mean, impressive as far as I'm concerned. This is low gear, running at 115 RPM. With that intermittent cut, you want to run slow. I'm used to running or machining 304 stainless steel, which is heavy speeds, heavy feed, low speed. So I'm learning this cold rolled steel. I'm sure it's pretty easy compared to the 304s, but we'll give it a shot here with a couple feeds. Alright, so I'm running at 155 RPM into my cut, intermittent cut. You guys